What is your I don't care if it's awful, I still love it movie? Wild Wild West has a scene where Will Smith is attacked by a henchman with knives for hands. Just as he is about to kick this henchman to his inevitable death, after hanging him, no less, Will Smith says, "No more Mr. Knife Guy, Your Honor. I lost my shoot when people started stepping out of paintings to shoot the intruders. This is the world's most dumb, intricate, and convoluted home security system. And I love it so much. The only reason I like Wild Wild West is because Will Smith picked it over The Matrix. And that's why we got Keanu as Neo. Van Helsing, the one with Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale. I also really enjoy the 1998 Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick. Anything featuring Kate Beckinsale in black leather is probably a horrible movie but guilty pleasure of mine. Came here to put a vote in for Godzilla 1998. Definitely Jingle All the Way. I try to watch it every December. It's turbo time. A couple months after my dad died, which was midsummer, my mom started watching Jingle All the Way like once a week on VHS. At a time when DVDs were just becoming obsolete and we didn't have Netflix yet. We had basically went bankrupt on his leukemia treatments for 2 years. Lost our house and moved into a house out in the middle of nowhere without cable or even the ability to catch some channels with an antenna. And had sold most of our movies and DVDs in a yard sale for the $30,516, but we still had all our Christmas movies. She wore that VHS out that summer. At the time I didn't know why she watched it so much. But looking back it was silly, goofy, and it had a little bit of that Christmas feeling that was familiar and safe in a time in both our lives that felt cruel and unfamiliar. This movie holds a really special place in my heart. I don't really watch it around Christmas anymore, but sometimes will put it on when I'm feeling sad. Happy Gilmore. I don't care that it's a dumb Adam Sandler comedy. It combines my two passions, hockey and golf. And it's funny to me. I love Happy Gilmore. Only a few Adam Sandler comedies I tolerate. This and The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates. Who hates Happy Gilmore? Waterworld. I didn't realize this was considered a bad movie until I came to Reddit. It's a pretty good movie. Right up until the little girl starts telling her captors that Kevin Costner's character is coming for them. That's when it becomes over the top awesome. The Tremors movies and evolution. I disagree. Tremors is not awful. I'd argue that it's almost a perfect film. Not an ounce of fat on it. Every single scene moves the film forward. Nothing is wasted. It also doesn't take itself very seriously. Tremors. That movie is on my short list of every time it's on TV. No matter what I'm doing, I'm going to watch it. Face Off peak over the top cage. Fueled by John Woo's theatrical antics. Is this a deep movie with a story which makes sense? Not even a little. Is it a 10/10 in my book? Hell yeah. The movie is mostly praised though. I barely see anyone who thinks Face Off is awful. I love that movie, and try to watch it every few years. But I'll never understand how the wife wasn't able to tell the difference between her husband's body and the other guy's body while having sex. Like, seriously, if I gain or lose a few pounds my wife notices almost instantly. An entirely different body, penis size, moves, stamina, and probably even smell. Come on. Constantine, the Keanu movie. That movie is dope. Wime. Tilda Swinton as Michael Gabriel is probably one of my favorite roles she's ever done. Absolutely masterful. Edit. Thanks for the correction. Yuval Thrax, Mario Brothers, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo as Italian plumbers. Frick you. That's funny. I only watched that once. When I was 6. Had no idea it was a bad movie till recently. Scrolled all the way down to find this one. I love it. 3. Battle Los Angeles. If you were to play a drinking game of spot the tired old cliched movie tropes while watching it, you'd be hammered drunk within 10 minutes and dead of alcohol poisoning by the time the movie was halfway through. But I love it. Battleship, the Rihanna film, is also in this category for me. Flash Gordon. They said awful, not masterpieces. Gordon's alive? Mannequin. Classic 80s. I bloody love this film. Imagine the pitch to execs. Exec. Hit me producer. Man falls in love with Egyptian princess that turns into a mannequin. Exec. How does he meet the mannequin? In a bar or discotheque? Producer. I hadn't thought that far. For a living the guy dresses shop windows? Exec. Okay. Can you make sure you put an over-the-top gay black guy in the likes of which we will probably never see again? Producer. Yeah, sure thing. Every time I watch it, you do wonder how he doesn't get himself arrested. If you were in the workplace and heard someone fricking a mannequin, you'd be onto HR. MMMMMM. Kim Cattrall at her peak. Amazing. Starship Troopers. Well, many people would argue that Starship Troopers is the opposite of awful. People think that's an awful movie. Kung Pao into the fist. I must apologize for Wimplo. He is an idiot. We have purposely trained him wrong as a joke. That's a lot of nuts. Star Wars prequel trilogy. It's just my childhood. The prequels are completely salvaged by the Clone Wars series. It adds so much depth and nuance to the politics and relationships that drive some of the seemingly arbitrary decisions made in episodes 2 and 3. E3 in particular can reduce me to tears now after the final seasons of TCW as context. Drop Dead Fred. I absolutely love this movie Mayo. It was one of the defining movies of my childhood. Cobwebs. The Twilight Saga. Is it an absolute dumpster fire? Yes. Is it full of unhealthy relationships, gaslighting, grooming and other not so great stuff? Yes. But is it enjoyable both loving and roasting it? Yes. It may be a shchow but it's my shchow. I really hate the Twilight story. But the atmosphere, music and landscape shots are amazing. I love to put it on and not really watch it. Mine too. The soundtrack, vibe and scenery of the movie. So good. Original Mortal Kombat. That music still gets me pumped to this day. And Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, Moulin Rouge. Don't care. I'll die on this hill that it's a good movie. I didn't know that people hated this movie. The music is fantastic. And that Roxanne dance routine with that gravelly voice singer is one of my favorite scenes of any movie.